I remember the exact moment I realized my marriage was over. Not when the papers were signed. Not when she moved out. It was earlier than that. Standing in our kitchen, my wife's phone buzzing on the counter, and a message lighting up the screen with a heart emoji attached to a name I didn't recognize. The sound was ordinary. The feeling was not. "Who's Daniel?" I asked, holding up her phone as she walked in. Her eyes flickered just for a second, but it was long enough. Long enough for me to know that everything I thought I had, a steady marriage, a woman who loved me, the life we had built, was hanging by a thread. The cracks begin. Samantha and I had been married for 11 years. We weren't perfect, but I thought we were solid. We had routines. Movie nights on Fridays, grocery shopping on Sundays, inside jokes about the neighbors, and plans for a vacation we'd been saving up for. But routines can become masks. That night, when I asked her directly if there was someone else, she didn't cry. She didn't deny it. She just said, "I deserve to be happy, Mark." Happy. As if I hadn't spent over a decade trying to make her happy. As if the sacrifices I made, the extra hours at work, the house I pushed us to buy, the weekends fixing things instead of relaxing, meant nothing. The divorce was quick. Too quick. It was almost as if she had been planning it long before I found that message. 7 days after the ink dried on the papers, I opened my phone to see pictures plastered all over social media. Samantha in a white dress, smiling under an arch of flowers, kissing the same man whose name had popped up on her phone. Daniel. Her dream man. Shattered glass. The betrayal wasn't just in the affair. It was in the speed. 7 days. 7 damn days. You don't plan a wedding in a week. Which meant while I was still her husband, she was planning her new life with him. I stared at those pictures for hours. The comments from her friends cut deep. "Finally with the man you were meant to be with. So happy you found your soulmate. Mark was holding you back." I didn't even know I was crying until my phone slipped out of my hand and landed on the hardwood floor. Was I really that blind? That disposable? Everyone has an opinion. My sister called me that night. "You don't need her, Mark. If she can do this, she's not worth it." Easy words. Harder to feel. Because despite everything I loved her. Or maybe I loved the version of her I thought was real. My father, always blunt, said, "Be glad you found out now. Better than wasting another decade on her." But the worst was running into mutual friends. Their looks said it all. Pity mixed with gossip. I was the man who got left behind. The man whose wife upgraded. The truth cracks open. 2 months later, I was sitting in a diner, nursing a coffee I didn't really want, when I heard a voice I recognized. Samantha's maid of honor, Emily. She was talking to another friend in the booth behind me, not realizing I was there. Can you believe it? Samantha thought she was going to be living the dream. Now she's already complaining. Daniel's controlling as hell. Won't let her go out with us. He's blowing through her money like water. My chest tightened. I leaned back, pretending to scroll through my phone, listening. She said he promised her some big business deal, but it fell through. He's broke. And get this, he's been messaging other women already. She caught him last week. The words hit me harder than I expected. A part of me wanted to laugh, another part wanted to scream. She threw me away for him, her dream man, and already her fantasy was crumbling. When she called, it wasn't long after that I got the call. Her name flashing on my screen sent a jolt through me. I hadn't heard her voice since the divorce. For a moment I considered not answering. But curiosity won. "Mark." Her voice was shaky, almost fragile. "What do you want, Samantha?" I don't know who else to talk to." A bitter laugh escaped me before I could stop it. "You have Daniel now. Talk to your husband." Silence. Then softly. "It was a mistake." Closed my eyes. For years, I had waited for her to say something like that. To admit she was wrong. To realize what she had thrown away. But hearing it now didn't feel like victory. It felt empty. She went on, voice trembling. "He's not who I thought he was. He yells at me. He doesn't work, just spends. He hit me, Mark. That last part knocked the air out of me. As much as I hated her betrayal, I never wanted her hurt. You need to leave him, I said quietly. I don't have anywhere to go. I paused, gripping the phone so hard my knuckles ached. For years, I would have done anything to save her. But now, after everything, you made your choice, I said finally, my voice breaking. I can't save you from it. Closure comes slowly. After that call, she tried again. Text messages. A letter in my mailbox. Each one dripping with regret, apologies, pleas for another chance. But something had shifted in me. The man who once would have forgiven her in a heartbeat no longer existed. I thought about the sleepless nights, the humiliation, the endless replay of her words. I deserve to be happy. And I realized something. She had mistaken happiness for excitement, stability for boredom. She had traded love for illusion. The last time I saw her, it was at the grocery store months later. She looked smaller somehow, worn down. No makeup, dark circles under her eyes. Mark, she said softly, almost like a prayer. He nodded. Samantha. There was a silence between us, heavy with everything unspoken. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know, I replied. And I walked away. Moving forward. I won't lie and say I healed overnight. Betrayal doesn't wash off like dirt. It lingers. Scars. But little by little I began to rebuild. Joined a gym. Picked up my old guitar again. Spent weekends with my sister's kids. I remembered what it felt like to laugh without bitterness. And one day, standing on my porch watching the sun dip below the horizon, I realized something profound. Losing her wasn't the end of my life. It was the beginning of a new one. 7 days after our divorce, Samantha married her dream man. 7 months later, she was alone, divorced again, with debts she couldn't pay and trust she couldn't rebuild. As for me, I found peace in places I never expected. She shattered my heart, but in the wreckage I found myself. And maybe, just maybe, that was the dream I should have been chasing all along.